Go, go, speculation! You mighty movie speculation! Hi, I'm Andre, I'm a black nerd, and I'm getting super excited because Power Morphicon 2018 is coming up. Unless you've watched this video after Power Morphicon 2018, then go back in time and celebrate it again. Power Rangerdom is getting crazy right now. We got the anniversary special with Super Ninja Steel. It's the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers. Shattered Grid comic. Everyone's talking Power Rangers. But there's a piece of Power Rangers that's being talked about that I gotta calm some folks down a little bit on. I hate to be that person, but some people are getting really excited about something that's not official yet. And of course, I am talking about the supposed Power Ranger movie sequel. So from some reputable news sources, there have been talks about Power Rangers movie sequel being quote unquote confirmed, but now I'm seeing that some of those articles are going back and changing their titles to in early development or in talks or possibly in the works. Good job, clickbaits. And this basically all stemmed from a couple of quotes and conversations with the CEO of Hasbro after Hasbro's acquisition of Power Rangers. In case you have been out of the loop, Hasbro bought Power Rangers and a lot of other Saban franchises for over $500 million, so now Hasbro is in total control of the Power Rangers franchise, which includes television and movie rights, which means that the show is going to continue, and if Hasbro has any plans of wanting to make a Power Rangers movie, particularly through their AllSpark Pictures studio, they could do so if they could find the right studio to work with to make it happen. And they probably want to make that happen. So one of the quotes of the CEO of Hasbro basically went like this: the fact that we can acquire Power Rangers brand and plug and play that right into our strategy where we can activate it in entertainment, motion pictures in the future, and then of course across toys and games and consumer products, and do so globally. We felt the brand was very underleveraged and undervalued. We feel we can exploit it to a much greater extent, and it was a grand opportunity to acquire the brand. Interesting choice of words, exploit. Hasbro is basically the Power Rangers pimp. Pink Ranger, my money's a little light right now. Hasbro needs his money. Did you just talk back to me, Red Ranger? You don't get to talk back until your movies make $1 billion like the Transformers. That's my top. But yes, it was that motion pictures in the future part of that quote that made people go, oh man, there it is. Power Rangers movie sequel is coming. And then licensing.org, a website that I don't think any Power Ranger fan knew about until this article came out on it, also apparently talked to Hasbro. And while they didn't have an exact quote, they had some message in their article that said, Hasbro will work with a film studio to develop a new Power Rangers movie as a follow-up to the 2017 release. It was not an exact quote that anyone from Hasbro said, which means that they could have either actually had said that in the conversation and wrote it as such, or jumped to their own conclusions because Hasbro once again says something to the effect of, we want to look at Power Rangers motion pictures in the future. They already saw that the Power Rangers motion picture existed, so Licensing.org was like, well, clearly if they're making another Power Rangers movie, it's going to be a sequel to the 2017 movie, which again, got all the news outlets to go, Power Rangers movie sequel confirmed! Calm it down. So hopefully this quote from the Senior Vice President of Global Communications at Hasbro helped to put things in line a little bit. We see tremendous potential for the Power Rangers franchise around our entire brand blueprint, including feature films. We have nothing specific to announce at this time, but please stay tuned for future news and updates around the Power Rangers brand. So what does this all mean? Basically what it means is that Hasbro spent over $500 million, over $500 million on the Power Rangers brand, so therefore they're going to want to do as much with it as they possibly can, and I'm sure movies is one of the things that they would like to do something with. If you're going to spend that much money on a franchise and you got a movie picture studio, you are probably thinking about the possibility of making a movie with it. But other than that, that is all that we have as information. So there's no official confirmation about sequel or reboot or anything with Power Rangers movies. It just means that they got the franchise, they're going through their transition period right now, and I'm pretty sure when they get their full Hasbro launch of Power Rangers things, that a movie will be one of the things that they will be thinking about trying to do. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer about this, and I'm not trying to get on my high horse about this. I just want to make that very clear because I just don't want to get in a situation with this type of news where we take small little chunks of quotes, take them completely out of context, and make some kind of article out of it and try to present it as fact just for views and clicks. That is not what we should be doing with entertainment. Leave that kind of nonsense to where it belongs, in regular news and politics. But that being said, do I want another Power Rangers movie? Of course I do. And I would personally like it if we did have a sequel to the 2017 movie. Because not only did I like that cast, and I like the way that they were setting up Power Rangers up in that universe, but of course they had that after credits tease where they were obviously getting themselves ready to introduce a Green Ranger, possibly evil at first, and then eventually turning a new leaf and joining the Power Rangers team. And that would mean some Dragon Zord action on the big screen, which is something that I really truly want. As much as I would love that, Power Rangers the movie did okay. It didn't do great. It came out right after Disney's Beauty and the Beast remake, and it came out right before the Oscar-nominated film, The Boss Baby. Because of those two movies, Power Rangers was not getting the young audience that it wanted, and that's what kind of hurt it, because those families weren't going to see that. We Power Rangers fans, we did our job, but them families, they had other options. A live-action remake of a Disney film where the animated film is better, and a movie about an Alec Baldwin talking baby. Apparently that was more important for kids and families than 5 diverse superheroes on the big screen in cool outfits fighting with giant robots against evil monsters. Maybe we would have called it Marvel's Power Rangers, they would have showed up. Oh! But the big thing that Power Rangers movie did, it sold toys. It sold those Power Rangers movie merchandise. That's what probably is why people are like, let's make another one of these things because, hey, more toys can be made. With Hasbro making a Power Rangers movie, they have actually a couple of options. The obvious option is to make a sequel to the original film. However, if they do that, I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of changes. I think, or I hope, that the movie will have a lot more action than the first movie. As much as I really liked the 2017 movie, one of the biggest complaints I had about it was I feel like it should have had a little bit more action instead of just regulating a lot of that to the third act. I love the sort of darker, more mature, and dramatic tone that they went with the characters, giving them backstory, learning more about the characters than we would have learned on any Power Rangers television series, but it still would have been nice to see a fight in there every once in a while. They can only train for so long. So now after that movie with them officially being Power Rangers, you gotta start that movie off with an action sequence. You gotta have action sequences throughout the movie. And then of course still have that big battle at the end with the Zords and hopefully that Dragon Zord because you're gonna introduce the Green Ranger in this one, right? And I would love for Rita to come back. Also, it would be cool to have another villain, Lord Zed, Lord Zed, Lord Zed, Lord Zed. A little bit more action-packed, a little bit funnier, probably more references or homages to Power Rangers of the past to please the fan base, and probably aiming it for a little bit of a younger audience, probably gonna be a little bit more of a fun action popcorn flick type of movie, and that could be cool. That might attract that audience that remembers the nostalgic Power Rangers and feel like that movie could be a little bit more to their liking. But hopefully that works because Ninja Turtles try to do that with Out of the Shadows, make it more for the fans, and that one actually performed less than the first one. So it's one of those tricky situations of old generation versus new generation and how you want to play in that world. Good luck. And of course, I would like for the whole cast to come back as well. Now that might get a little bit tricky. I'm assuming that they probably signed some contract that said that they are required to come back and do another film if it gets a sequel, but I'm sure there's a time frame on that too. But even though the movie came out in 2017, we do live in a more fast-paced society, so you can't wait too long for these movies to get their sequels before people start to forget. Also, the cast is starting to do their thing, man. Ludi Lynn's gonna be an Aquaman. Becky G has already been and continuing to be a top recording artist. RJ Kyler has done a couple of television shows since the movie and probably is going to do even more. Dacre Montgomery is in Stranger Things, and Naomi Scott is freaking Jasmine in the new Aladdin movie, the live action movie. She probably saw how Beauty and the Beast did them wrong and was like, how do I get up in that world? A whole new world. Oh, swish. So I'm just saying, if they're going to make a sequel to that movie, they probably should do it pretty soon before this cast gets a little too busy. Either that, or you're going to have to replace the whole cast with like people from Disney Channel shows in Riverdale. I'm just saying. Jughead Jones is the Green Ranger. Let's do it. There's the other option, which no one wants to talk about, but could be a possibility, and that's they could just do a soft reboot altogether. They could Bumblebee this thing. If enough time passes between the first movie and whatever this movie is going to be, they could look at it and go, you know what? Too much time has passed, and that movie did what it did. Let's just start over again, and they could try to do a complete reboot of the movie franchise. That's not something I would want, since you've already established something, but it's something that is legitimately possible because, again, by doing a reboot, they could give it a different tone, a different type of personality, and make it more in line with something that they think younger audience would go see, as well as Power Ranger fans, both current and classic. If they can make a movie not too long from now, then they could probably still play off the 2017 film. But if they wait till like 2021, 2022 or something like that to make a new Power Rangers movie, that's a lot of time in between those two films. So I'm just saying. There's the other big rumor and speculation that's going on when it comes to Hasbro movies, and that is the possibility of a Hasbro Cinematic Universe. So you've probably heard some murmurs that whether it's with Bumblebee or with other future movies, that Hasbro might be trying to figure out a way to put a lot of its properties together into some kind of cinematic universe. And we're talking Transformers, G.I. Joe, they also have Micronauts, Visionaries, Mask, ROM, and now Power Rangers. And since a lot of these franchises have cars, robots, monsters, and the like, even though it probably would make absolutely no sense, they could probably figure out a way to make these worlds somehow merge together. A lot of these franchises have had crossovers before with each other or with other franchises in comics, so they probably could do the same thing with movies. So could it be possible that Power Rangers could somehow be merged into the same universe as Transformers? It's possible. And then maybe Mr. Potato Head and My Little Pony would show up and they all shoot each other with Nerf guns. It's possible. And as insane as that sounds, I kind of want it. I don't know why. I just think that that would be kind of neat. I mean, if you can't beat Marvel with them having their whole franchise, what do? Just grab everything you got under your umbrella and just go put it in a movie. Don't Dark Universe this thing. Like, be subtle with it. Have it slowly progress. But if I saw Optimus Prime fighting the Megazord and G.I. Joe is around them having a battle with Cobra, I would lose my nostalgia mind. That would be awesome. But let's just be real. If anything like that's gonna happen, that's definitely further down the line, not anytime soon. I think the first thing that they have to do is really establish Power Rangers as a movie franchise in itself before they can start talking crossover stuff. But I'm just saying that would be pretty awesome. Just think of the toy possibilities. And that's what it's all about. But if you are still needing that Power Rangers on the big screen fix for you, Becky G is gonna be in that movie Axel, about the guy that finds a robot dog thing. It's a robot. Becky G's in it. Power Rangers-esque. Bottom line, I definitely want to see a Power Rangers movie again on the big screen. I think there's a lot of potential to make a Power Rangers movie universe. I think that there's something there. So I would like to see it attempted, I would like to see it experimented with, and I'd like to see it be successful. It's just a matter of when it happens, and it's a matter of how it can happen in the context of Hasbro's timeline of how they have to handle everything with Power Rangers now and how they want to incorporate when to promote what. But I think that they're obviously thinking of something, and I'll be curious to see what happens when it all comes together. But until then, let's pump the brakes and thinking that every single time Hasbro goes, yeah, we're thinking about movies, that is a confirmation of some kind of Power Rangers movie, sequel, or reboot, or whatever. Trust me, when Hasbro is ready to tell you that they are making that movie, they are going to tell you, and they will tell you in a big way because they want you behind it, and they want you to go see it, and they want you to go buy the merch from it. Power Rangers is doing a lot of cool stuff lately, so instead of being so focused about what they're going to make in the future, let's enjoy what they got out there right now, because there's a lot of cool stuff, and I say, get all up in it. Get all up in that Power Ranger goodness. But let me know what you think about the possibilities of another Power Rangers movie. Do you think they should do a direct sequel? Do you think they should reboot the whole thing? Do you think they should make it part of the Hasbro Cinematic Universe? Give me your Power Ranger movie thoughts. Pitch an idea out there. And if you like me talking about Power Rangers as well as many other things, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi5000. See you at Power Morphicon if you're gonna be there, and may the power protect you. Always.